Right then, this is a walk around video for an absolutely beautiful Honda Accord. This is a 2.2 ES-GT. The car's covered just 39,300 miles. It's in absolutely lovely condition. Such a handsome car, aged absolutely amazingly well. Come around the front of the car, generally all very clean and tidy. Bumper's good. You know, there's going to be the odd light mark, odd touch in here and there, but for a 12-year-old car, it is very, very clean indeed. Bonnet, can't see any obvious marks on there. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panel work. There's no obvious indentations that I can see. Near side front alloy, these are the ones that always take a bit of a bashing, and this one's got light marking on the outside on the sort of curb marks. But again, totally befitting the age and mileage of the car. Rear alloy, lovely and clean. Come around the back of the car. So I'm using a new camera today, so it's a bit disjointed. I do apologise. It's slightly different to my old one. Again, you get the kind of the extended bumpers on the GT models. Chrome strip on the later model as well. Offside of the car. Sorry. Again, lovely and clean in the panels. Side rear alloy, very good indeed. Panel work, very, very nice indeed. The only mark of any note, just on the plastic edge on the bumper there, you can see it's been touched in. That's pretty much it. I mean, it is, you know, it is 12 years old. It isn't perfect, but it is, for the age and mileage, absolutely stunning. Coming to the boot area now, absolutely enormous boot, and it's been kept in beautiful condition. Coming to the back of the car now, half leather interior, looks absolutely stunning. The car looks hardly been used in the back at all. Coming to the front and the passenger side, again all incredibly clean and tidy. Passenger seat again, been given very, very little use. Finally on the driver's side, again all very, very clean and tidy. Same with the footwell areas. The driver's seat itself, the one that should show a reasonable amount of wear, shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, as always, I've got the engine running, so the dash can be seen illuminated, which looks absolutely as new virtually. It's incredibly clean, all working exactly as it should. Come across the main dash binnacle there, hopefully you can see 39,359 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all, but it is a wonderful car. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. But then this is a quick road test video, and this is for an extraordinary car. This is a Honda Accord 2.2 ES-GT, registered SM61BKK, and with a mileage of just 39,352 recorded. The reason we do the videos is basically so if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is, as I always say, it's because so many people have been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the vehicle. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. Generally very quiet roads as well. This is actually rush hour this morning. It's 8:30 in the morning, so it's shouldn't be too traumatic for people. And the reason we use this road is because it actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on. So hopefully it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, you know, first and foremost, I am massively biased. I adore these cars for all sorts of reasons, but that doesn't get in the way of the practicalities of telling you if things are right or wrong with the car. Which I will start with the engine, which starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights at all on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. I try and do the videos where the engines are stone cold, because there can be different issues with cars when they're cold or hot. So so currently the temperature gauge is reading 0 or virtually 0. But the engine is an absolute peach. It really is. It's only noticeably a diesel when it's at very low revs or low speed, because even Honda can't engineer that out. But on the move, wow, it's just so smooth, quiet, refined. And unlike so many modern turbo diesels, which make you think they're quicker than they are, because they give you lots of kind of initial instant thrust, but then they just die away very quickly, this has got a broad spread of power. I'm in 4th gear now, going uphill, 1500 revs, touch the throttle, and the car picks up and goes and keeps going. And that's the thing, that's the difference. It doesn't just die away, but it also does it so smoothly. Such a lovely, lovely engine. As with all Honda engines, of course, they're generally incredibly reliable and long-lasting. All they ask of you is that you just regularly maintain them, and this one clearly has been. Yeah, absolutely fantastic engine. Cam chain driven as well, by the way. No cam belts to worry about on Hondas. Coming through to the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, absolutely perfect as you'd expect with mileage. Smooth and smooth and precise. Bite point's exactly where it's meant to be. The gearbox is just typical Honda. It is brilliant. The thing come back to why I love the car almost. When you get in the car, the first thing you notice as soon as you pull away is how extraordinarily well engineered the car feels. It feels almost heavy, but it feels heavy in a good way. A really solidly engineered car, and everything you touch, you push the pedals down, they have a meaty actuation to them, a slick operation, and the gearbox is a classic example of that. The gear changes are just beautifully done. It feels just so mechanical. The linkage, the selection, the synchromesh, absolutely second to none. It is a brilliant gearbox, which is so tactile to feel. You've got this lovely kind of chrome with a leather surround, which they put on these ones. But that's a gear change you just want to use for the sake of using it. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. And that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new. There's zero wear in it. Coming to the steering, track's absolutely dead straight, without any vibrations. Coming to the steering at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And it brings me to what I think is actually the best part of the car, but probably the most underrated part of the car as well. The steering and the chassis. It is extraordinary, and I'm not exaggerating either, because what it gives you, and this section of road is appalling by the way, is a sporty but comfortable ride. It is comfortable. You feel the bumps, but they're not harsh. But when you combine one of the best electric power steering systems you'll ever use in terms of weighting, accuracy, precision, confidence inspiring, and it's got what I always refer to when I talk about cars as having a good front end. And this car is a classic example of that. As soon as you turn into the corner, I wish I was going down a windy road to show you. The whole car moves as one. It flows through corners absolutely brilliantly. It seems to remain completely flat when it's doing it as well. It's a masterclass. It really, really is. I mean, I've driven one of these at pace, emergency, to go down to see a member of the family many years ago, and I have to say I've never been in a car that could drive at speed and just be completely unruffled. It's an astonishing chassis, I have to say. Incidentally, there's absolutely no clonks or rattles coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there. It's all in very, very fine order. Likewise, brakes on the car are absolutely spot on. I'm not going to go mad with them, I've already tried them, but they're perfect. There's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, so all in fine fettle there. And then we come to the interior, which, as you expect of any Honda car, is beautifully put together. You know, it might be low mileage, but it is still, you know, a 12-year-old car, and there are no squeaks, no rattles. It is in beautiful condition in here. But what a wonderfully, I mean, it's got plenty of equipment, but it's not a car you jump into and think, oh my goodness, how do I operate this? It's a car anyone could jump in and drive immediately. And by contrast to modern cars, which are massively overcomplicated, massively distracting with stupid great big tablets, so you can read your messages on the move, all the things you shouldn't be doing. What a wonderful car to get into and not have all of that going on. You just concentrate on your driving, perfect driving position, incredibly comfortable seats, brilliant visibility, and a dash design which still looks modern, still looks fresh. Nice big simple easy to use radio, a dual zone climate control system so you can have different temperatures side to side, which pumps out ice cold air, by the way, because we checked that earlier. A dash binnacle, which again is just beautifully presented and labelled and detailed, minimalist of course by modern standards, and as I said, all the better for that. Temperature gauge now reaching a third, or running a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. Then you've got this lovely leather bound steering wheel, which, like the rest of the interior, it's just in stunning condition. I cannot fault this car in any way, but it's a timely reminder of what a wonderful car this is, and it makes a lot of modern cars feel very dull, very digital, uninvolving. You know, for the people who still enjoy their driving and want to try something a little bit different to the norm, I think they make a fantastic buy, which is why I personally love these things.